Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, I am the Introverted Reader, and today we are wrapping up the month of July. Now, how have we gotten here? It's wild, it's crazy, it's insane, but today is July 30th and I have officially completed my TBR for the Magical Hopathon, which I had so much fun participating in. All the applause to the lovely Rachel for putting all this together. She's amazing, she's wonderful. I'll leave her tagged, so you should go and subscribe to her if you haven't already. Thank you so much, Rachel. I had so much fun. And yeah, we're going to wrap up all the books that I read. So let's have a wee drink. Whew. Oh, I need all the hydration I can get. It is so warm. Like, I have two windows open over here, and I had a window open there, but then my neighbor decided it would be a great idea to do some gardening work, and it was really loud and annoying, so I had to close that window, but anyway. So if you hear outdoor noises, that's why. Anyway, so let's look through. So I get all these prompts right. I have everything written down. So... We read all 7 books that I wanted to accomplish this month, and for my entry prompt, my park ticket read was for a book you can't stop thinking about, and that was Arcspire by Jamie Littler. Now, I didn't do a book club pick for this month, you know, obviously because I was taking part in this readathon, but I do have a review of this book up on my channel if you want to go and watch it. But all in all, it was super fun. I love Jamie Littler's writing, and yeah, I gave it all in all 4 stars. So go watch my review if you want more in depth. Anyway, so we hit 2 parks for this readathon. We went to Magic Kingdom and then we went to Animal Kingdom, and 3 books a piece for each park. So, yay, happy time. So, my first read was, actually, you know what? I'll just go in order that I've got them stacked up here because of them all written a different way. So, the first book that I actually completed was Richard Osman's Thursday Murder Club. For Magic Kingdom, this was my snack read, and it was to read a booktube fave. And, okay, booktube, don't hate me, but I didn't like this as much as I thought. It's basically about these 4 wee old people who live in a retirement village, and they meet up every Thursday, and they have this little club where they talk about like cold cases, right? You know, cases that have gone unsolved for years and years and years. But then a murder actually happens within their vicinity, because their retirement village is this huge like area. It takes up a lot of area, it's a lot of land, and a murder takes place in a house nearby, and these wee old people kind of take it upon themselves to try and help solve it. Did they really? Okay, so I give this 3 stars in the end, mainly because I enjoyed how it had warmth, it had heart for sure. There was definitely a good bit where it definitely tugged on my heartstrings a lot. You know, but you know, it had humor. It had that really funny, witty British humor. You know, these wee old people just like come up with the wildest things. You know, like one of them in particular goes on about all the crazy things she's done in her life that sounds so unbelievable, but you know, she insists that they're true, you know. But like, too much of that, not enough let's solve a murder. Do you know what I mean? Like, not enough of the actual like, let's find all these clues to figure out what happened to this person and why this person was murdered and what motive this person would have and stuff like that. And all in all, like, everything wasn't really very well explained, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I mean, like I said, there was times when it did tug on my heartstrings a bit, but I was just like, can we get back to the thing at hand? Like, even the 2 perspectives of the police officers that were trying to like solve the case, like it was a man and a woman, and the man, like every single time we were in his perspective, he just kept going on about how old and fat he is and how he's going to be single for the rest of his days, and like, oh, I'm divorced, oh, my kids don't talk to me anymore, oh, I'm just gonna have another chocolate bar and down my sorrows. And it's like, sir, first of all, just go on Weight Watchers or something and shut up. It's like, seriously. But yeah, All in all, it was fine. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with the series, if I'm being completely honest with you. But yeah, that's my feelings on that. Please don't hate me. Okay, so, and then we move on to a 5-star read. Girl Goddess Queen by B. Fitzgerald. You guys, this was my attraction read for the Magic Kingdom. And I went on the Tron Light cycle, and the one for this was to read like a newer release. So a book that maybe came out this year or last year, and this book came out last year. So this is a retake on the Hades and Persephone myth. And it's basically Persephone grew up on the island of Sicily with her mom Demeter. She's the daughter of Zeus and Demeter. And she is basically grown to be like the perfect little girl, you know, like she's always beautiful, she's always well dressed, her hair is never messy, she has beautiful skin, you know, she talks nice and softly. They basically groom her to be like this demure, fragile little creature, and they treat her like a little fragile creature. But then as she gets older, Zeus is like, I'm gonna find someone to marry you, and you'll be the perfect wife and mother, and blah blah blah. And she's like, nope, not having that. So she basically jumps down into hell. Literally, she opens up the earth, jumps down into hell, smack down in front of Demon Daddy Hades, and he's all like, excuse me, who are you? What are you doing here? And she's basically like, hi, I came from up there. My parents want to try and force me to get married, and I don't want to do that. So I need you to protect me. I need you to help me, like, stay down here and protect me and whatever. And he's all like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, what? I don't know who you are. Like, I'm not going up against the gods. I've got my own mess happening down here. She kind of forces him into it. She makes him take a vow of hospitality, and basically forces him to allow her to stay and to protect her from her parents. And it's so good. It's so good. And listen, I would recommend reading the author's note before you get into it, because the author basically, she lists all the trigger warnings that you need to be aware of before you read it. But listen, all in all, I love this so much. I listened to the audiobook for it, and it was so good. I couldn't stop. It was amazing. And it was the first Greek myth retelling that I've read in a long time where I wasn't bored. Like, I was just like, yes, I actually understand what's happening. This doesn't feel like I'm sitting here reading a textbook. This is amazing. And yeah, wonderful. You should totally read it. 5 stars. And then the last one that I had to read for Magic Kingdom was my show read, and that was Festival of Fantasy, and that was to read a colourful book. And for that I read Land of Stories, The Enchantress Returns by Chris Colfer. This is the second book in his Land of Stories series. And basically, if you love the TV show Once Upon a Time, you need to, because this is like the TV show Once Upon a Time, but for kids. Like, it's fun, it's whimsical, it's colorful in every sense of the word. And yeah, really enjoyed my time reading this. 4 stars. I'm really happy to continue. I've got the 3rd book up there to read over August. So that was Magic Kingdom. Now we're on to the Animal Kingdom. And the first book I read for Animal Kingdom was Heaven's Official Blessing, Volume 7. This was my snack prompt. I did my snack prompts first because, you know, a girl's always hungry. The snack for this was Cheeseburger Pod, and that was to read a book of 2 formats. So the way I did this was I have physical copies of all these books, but I read them on my Kindle because it's just easier for me to read them on my Kindle. So I did, and I enjoyed this. It was fine. I gave it 4 stars. I have an interesting relationship with this series. On the one hand, I love it because of these 2. Like, our 2 main characters here are probably the best thing about this series. But do I love it as much as I love Grandmaster? No. Mainly because there's just so much going on. And it's so hard for me to, like, follow along what's happening because I'm getting so much information. But I love these 2. I love these 2 so much. I love their relationship. More of him. Like, where is Hwa-chong in all of this? I ask you. Like, listen, and don't be telling me things in the comments, okay? No spoilers. Like, I know some things, but I don't know everything, so don't be spoiling. But all in all, this volume was good. Not as good as volume 6, but it was good. It was fine. 4 stars. I'm excited to read volume 8 and be done. Let me see. And then I read The Lost Girl King by Catherine Doyle. This is my show read, and that was Festival of the Lion King, which I do remember going to see when we went to Florida last year. Ah, oh, good times. Yeah, this is to read a TBR vet, and I'm very happy with myself that I read this. I've had it for a while now. I just bought it randomly in a Manchester airport because I was waiting around for my flight, and went into the shop to get a bottle of water and came out with a book. Wow. But yeah, so this is a story about 2 siblings, Amy and Liam, and their mom takes them to their granny's house in the west of Ireland for the summertime while she heads off on holiday with her boyfriend, the selfish guy. Anyway, so, but then, and then they go out one day because they're just like, listen, mom might be away, we might be here, but, you know, we're going to make the most of it. So they go outside and they stumble across this waterfall, but then in behind the waterfall is the entrance to the land of eternal youth, Tir na Nog. Listen, I looked up how to pronounce this properly, and that is, I hope I pronounced it right. So they get in there, and the adventure starts from there. Now, this was good. It was good. It was good. Was it great? No. Was I obsessed with it? No. Listen, it was fine. It was good. I enjoyed it. But if I'm being real, it was just very, like, surface level. It felt like, yeah, there's evil spell hanging over the land. Must defeat bad guy. And, you know, I guess the mythology side of it was interesting because, obviously, I am an Irish person, but don't really know all that much about Irish mythology. And, like, hearing all about that, I guess, was interesting. But all in all, it was alright. It was okay. I think I gave it 4 stars in the end. But yeah, it wasn't the thrilling adventure I was promised. It was just very like, oh, okay, now we're here. Oh, now it's just, you know, everything's solved, everything's fine. A lot of the side characters felt very flat, if I'm being honest with you. And the 2 main characters, Amy and Liam, they were alright. She was very reckless. I feel like I feel like the author was just trying too hard to make her like, oh, she's not afraid of anything. She's adventurous. She's not like other girls. And it's like, okay, calm down. You're good. Because if I'm being honest with you, nothing pisses me off more than a main character that just charges on and puts themselves in constant danger all the time. And it's like, can you just sit down and think about the consequences of your actions? And it's like, anyway, it was fine. It was fine. All in all, it was fine. And the very last book that I read, which I finished just yesterday, was River of Silver by Shannon Chakraborty-Yuga. Now, this is a short story collection that she put together, I think like 2 years ago. When was this published? Shannon, 2022, like 2 years ago. And, you know, she wasn't even sure whether or not it was going to come out or not, because I think she meant for it to come out sooner, and then the panorama and everything, and just, but I love this. I love this. I love the Daevabad trilogy. If you know anything about me, then the Daevabad trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. And reading this made me want to go back and reread it, like, for real. Like, I still have the audiobooks on my phone. Like, I seriously feel like just going back and rereading it and being back in this world again. Like, each of the stories in here 5-star worthy? No. But was the overall vibe and the overall vibe and the joy that I was experiencing while I was reading this, and just being with these characters again, being back in this world, and just the very last story, honestly, nearly made me tear up. And I was like, Shannon, I need more within this world. Like, please, give me more within this world. I want to know Like, some of these stories, like the way they left off, I was like, I want more. Like, I would read a full novel about our characters' adventures after everything, you know, and I was like, give me more. I need Shannon to give us more. Please, mother. I need it. Anyway, 5 stars, honestly, because this was a 5-star that was to read a 5-star prediction. And I know I literally made a video talking about how 5-star predictions are a waste of time, you know, but whatever. I mean, I stand by my opinions in that video, but I was right about that one, okay? Let's just forget everything I said. So, those are all the books that I read. I'm so happy I read all of these. We discovered some new favorites. You know, I caught up on series, and just all in all, I had a great time reading all of these. I had a great time participating in the Magical Hopathon as always. Big claps for Rachel. Thank you for putting this together. And yeah, that's it for today. All my socials down below as always. Subscribe if you're not already. Leave a like so that the algorithm knows that you like me. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video next week. So, that's bye-bye.